So I've been doing the streams and we've been doing the tournament session, but I was like, you know what? People have been asking for these study videos on YouTube quite a bit, and they say I would watch so much more of those, and I like those. And then people in the stream also say that they like them. So I was like, hey, why don't I start doing like a little 15 minutes at the end of every session, and then we can have this extra video content for people to learn on YouTube in various formats. Like we're gonna use paired today from Raise Your Edge, but on other days we might do like Preflop Academy, or we might do like a PO solver, or we might do whatever, right? Like we might use a bunch of different things. So that's essentially what we're gonna do here today. Is we're gonna do a little paired. I think I want to study some pre-flop decisions today, so I'm gonna focus on pre-flop ranges using paired. But let me know any feedback you have in the comments if you're on YouTube or if you're on Twitch. Let me know what you think about this sort of format. So let's do it. Now we have a couple. This is paired, right? These are basically poker quizzes. We have 3-bet pots, post flop out of position, playing the blind, squeezing, raise first in, right? Rejamming, and flatting and 3-betting. I think we want to do raise first in, rejamming, and flatting and 3-betting. Now, if I click here, here is going to be some individual spots, but then you can also quiz all of these spots as well. So 40 blinds deep, for example, 20 blinds deep, 30 blinds deep, 30 blinds deep, etc. Right? So let's take the quiz. Now, is this a automated robot quiz? It is. Yeah. Okay, nice. So we're going to start. We got 30 seconds here for each question, and we're going to do 10. Can you guys see this? Yes. Okay, so it's 40 blinds deep. It's going to be 40 blinds deep always. And let's play. Mostly call here, I think. Jack 9 suited. Some 3-bet, but mostly call. Yes. Okay, nice. You can review the range. You can take a look. Here's our 3-betting. Like, obviously, I'm missing some of this chat, for sure. Like, I'm definitely missing some of these 3-bets. I know that to be certain, right? But anyways. 9s. Wow. Jam is an option. 3-bet is an option. Like all 3 make money, obviously. My original thought is to jam or 3-bet here most of the time, but I think all 3 jam 100%. Here we go. So here is what math would dictate in this spot. All in with 8s and 9s. 3-betting with 10s plus. So we've got the line. It's not the end of the world to 3-bet, but slightly better. You can also see you jam 10-9 suited and ace-queen offsuit, right? But then we're 3-betting 7s pure. That I'm not doing. 40 blinds deep, I'm not pure 3-betting 7s, for sure. I'm not half 3-betting 6s. Like, these are things where I am definitely taking a different approach. I'm not jamming 4s. So this is quite different than what I'm doing here. This is big blind versus cutoff, though. We're not, like, in late position. We're in the big blind. Now we're in later position. Fold, I think. Yep. Fold 10-6 suited. 2 wide. Yep. We're going to do 10-8. Cool. 9-6 suited in the big blinds. Call. Yep. Call all the suited hands. Okay. Nice. Mostly call. Yep. We're going to 3-bet a few offsuit aces. Yep. But call all these. Cool. Ace-jack. Some call, some 3-bets. Mostly call here on 40 blinds, I think. Yes. Cool. All right. Not bad. We're doing okay. We're doing okay here on 40 blinds. Some call. I was going to say a little bit of 3-bet, but no. Straight call with a Jack 10 suited. We're going to 3-bet some of those. Okay. 4s call. I don't even think we want to 3-bet here. I think pure call, but it's saying, well, we can't have the choice to just choose call, so it's going to have to be some fold. Wow. Wow. Interesting. Okay. King, queen. Both call in 3-bets. I think I'm going to do 50-50 here in game, right? Yeah. So it's a little bit less than 50-50, but we got the right idea there. I'm okay with that. We are going to probably more call than 3-bets. No 3-bet. Again, so when I see these like on paired, right, where it's like ace-8 is a little bit, ace-7 is a bit more, ace-6 a lot, ace-5, and then ace-4 none. Like, I think the principle is close enough, right? Difference between an ace-4 and an ace-5 3-bet are really not a lot. Like, I've got in my head, like, I might want to consider sometimes 3-betting these hands, but also calling them a lot. So I think that's okay. All right, the quiz is done. So we had a question in the chat there. Why do you call with 5-5 and jam 4-4? So these hands, basically what's happening is that you're inputting these scenarios into like a really advanced engine on poker, right? And it's basically playing itself and using math and figuring out what is an optimal sort of approach to playing poker, to where it's like, okay, this is the best possible opening frequency, not based on what human beings are, but just purely based on math, right? So when it's playing itself, sometimes you get these things where it's like, oh, like you said, I'm gonna call 5-5, but I'm gonna jam 4-4. And the reasons for that is going to be so nuanced, right? It's going to be like, okay, with 4-4, with the jam, you know, it does better getting fold equity of these hands that it's flipping against, whereas 5-5, like we just have a little bit more equity against these like King 4 suited and Queen 4 suited. Like it's just got a little bit more equity. It's got a little bit more showdown value. Like these tiny little implications against a huge range of hands, right? So it's just like these tiny things. You got to remember it's a computer, right? It's not a human being, because usually the answer is much more straightforward than that. But like those are some of the reasons why you see like, okay, we're going to low frequency do this and that. Like it's factoring in all those little pieces of the puzzle to give you a very like robotic answer. You know, of course, these things we can't actually copy as human beings, you know, like let's do another quiz here. We'll go back to the scene. Let's do another one on 40 blinds. We'll just sort of rip through it, right? 10-6 suited here. Fold. I think we got that one. 8-6 suited. Ooh. Call fold, I'm thinking. Some call, some fold. Fold 100. Yeah, okay. So we are not 8-6 suited, but we're 9-7 suited. So it's the line, right? We're right on the edge there. But look at this, right? It's saying like, oh, you want to 3-bet 10-8 suited specifically like 8% of the time, but you never want to 3-bet 9-7 suited, right? Like that's a robotic answer, right? Like that's not a human answer. That's not something we can take from this into the game and remember like, oh yeah, I need to 3-bet 10-8 suited 7% of the time when I'm against under the gun +1 on the button at the stack depth. Like that's useless, right? We want some general takeaways. And so what's the general takeaway in the spot? Well, we're going to 3-bet our strong hands. We're going to sometimes 3-bet our offsuit Broadway hands. And we're going to choose some of our weaker suited hands and 3-bet them occasionally, right? That's like the takeaway. But really, there's not a ton of 3-betting here. You know, 5% calling 16%. We're only 3-betting a quarter of our range in the spot. So that's kind of the idea, right? Next question, ace-3, call in the big blind. Ooh, it's never folded, so it has to be call 3-bet, but really very likely to be call. So like what would the takeaway be here, right? We're calling our suited hands. We're 3-betting our good hands. And then if we're going to 3-bet bluff, it's going to be our worst offsuit hands sometimes. That's the takeaway, you know? That's how you think about the spot, because you're not a robot and you can't remember that 9-8 suited is a 2% 3-bet or 9-8 offsuit. You just can't do it, right? Aces here, 3-bet. Yes, okay, nice. Here you can see very linear, right? Like queens and jacks and tens and kings and aces are never slow playing this spot. Jacket suited folds, bad position at the table. King 3 in the big blind. Some call, some 3-bet, mostly call, but definitely a little bit of 3-bet as well. No! Oh, see, I'm just off, bro. I was so sure on that one, man. Okay, next. 7-4 off folds. Yep. Folding all these off suited. Look at the suited, right? Like suited is a big deal. Defending the big blind. So I'm thinking this is going to be a bit of all three. I bet there's going to be a mix of three. I'm going to fold. No. It's the line, though, right? Like king jack is all three. I'm just off. But yeah, king jack, some call, some 3-bet, some folds. King 10 is pure fold, though. A little too wide there. I think we want to VPip this. Yep. Nice. 10-8 suited. Nice. Good. And 9-7 with the pure call. Okay. 8-7. We call. I think connected enough, right? 8-7 offsuit. Yep. We're in there. Quiz 100. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So we've done 2 flatting and 3-betting 40 blinds. Let's go and do a different stack depth. Yeah. Flatting and 3-betting. So we just did 40 blinds. Now poker is so complex. This might be breaking news to some of you that even down, so 40 blinds, you go to 20 blinds, it's going to look completely different, man. It's going to be completely different, right? So let's do 20 blinds and take a look and see how things change, right? Now we're queen jack on 20 blinds. What do we do? See, this one is uncomfortable for me. I think I'm folding here. Yeah. Queen jack off, we fold, right? Green is call, orange is jam. 8-6, call, yeah. Ooh, see, I'm too tight here. I wouldn't have called 8-5, so I'm a little too tight there, but there we go, right? Kings, mostly jam. I think jam. Ooh, it wants to slow play the aces and kings here almost always. Damn, okay. I don't slow play enough. I definitely slow play aces sometimes, but I wouldn't with kings. Okay, A7 suited, limp. Oh, no, raise. Jam. Small blind, you almost never call in the small blind against button opens. Look at this range, right? Like, you jam 22%, call 6%, 6, 12, 18, 24. So you call like 1/5 of your range. Basically, when you're in the small blind, you're jamming your hands against a button open. That's a takeaway. You can learn that. 10-5 suited, call in the big blind, suited, it's enough. Look at all these suited hands. You call, right? 3-bet bluffs, like some Broadway 3-bets, or 3-bet jams, sorry. These are 3-bet jams. Ace-5, ace-4, ace-3 suited, some pairs. See, here's another weird computer takeaway, right? 7s, half jam, half call. 6 is call. 5's jam, 4's jam, 3's call. Why? It's those tiny little mathematical like things. Sometimes it's not even like a big enough sample to where it's just off a little bit. Like you don't need to learn that. That's not useful, right? 6-5, ooh, call, I guess, man. We're not happy about it though. See, the thing is, I'm not calling 6-4. I'm a little bit too tight with offsuit hands here is what I'm learning, right? Like I'm thinking this is line. I'm thinking we're folding 6-4. I'm wrong. So that's a takeaway on 20 blinds in the big blinds. King 6 suited. I think we're all in. I'm not happy about it though. No, call fold. It's, oh. Yikes. Yeah, okay. So a little bit too wide there. To be fair, I'm not hitting these 8 calls. I'm probably shoving a little bit too much, but I'm a little too wide on this one. 10-7 suited, open under the gun, folds. It's just not, like, way too wide. See, here's our range, right? Like, really tight. 10-7 suited is a big miss. Queen 10 suited, all in here. Queen 10 suited, I think, is a good hand. You often shove these, you know, like these Jack 10, Queen 10, Jack 9, 10, 9. Like, these hands are often shoves. Here we can see we shove a ton of hands. 20 blinds deep. Like, I'm missing this, but I'm shoving all of these, right? I'm probably shoving ace 10 off as well. I'm shoving these pairs. That's fine. 9-6 suited. We get a limp. We check back. So if I'm not mistaken, when we look at this range, suited hands, the mass majority of the time, like of the suited hands are going to check back, and the bluffs are going to be offsuit hands, I think. But of course, we're going to raise some strong suited hands, but I think it's going to be a lot of the upper right-hand corner of the graph checks, and the left does low frequency raising. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Checking, value raising, low frequency, all the offsuit hands, and then some jamming with the offsuit aces. Yeah, so when you're on these 20 blinds in this spot, you check back your suited hands. But what's super interesting, so the quiz is over. I'll show you the difference between 20 blinds. This is small blind versus big blind, right? 20 blinds. Let's check out 60 blinds and see the difference, okay? So we're going to end the quiz, right? We're going to go to paired, and I think we can just go range viewer, right? Big blind. Facing limp, right? 60 blinds deep. Look what we do. 60 blinds deep versus a limp. Compared to that range we just saw, all of these were pure checks at 20 blinds. Look what happens at 60 blinds. Now everything does everything. Everything's a mix, right? So just that change in stack depth totally changes our strategy to where we actually start to raise probably more suited hands here than offsuit hands. Just because the stack depth changes, right? Poker's complex, dude. I hope you guys liked this little learning sesh for paired. I'm going to wrap up the video now for YouTube. Thank you for watching YouTube.